What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? It's your girl La, and welcome to another episode of Whatever You Say. If you're tuned in today, that must mean that you're open-minded and you're open for perspective and deep conversations. I'm really nervous today. I'm not going to even lie, guys. I had a long day, and it was very productive. But it's always something new each day. So listen, buckle up and let's get ready to go on this journey. It's whatever you say. It's whatever you say. Hey guys. I hope you had a wonderful day today. Very productive. Probably more productive than mine. Mine was very busy, but it was very productive, like I said. We have a special guest today talking about core values that can help us with our day-to-day routines, that is. But before we get started, y'all already know what time it is. We're going to go on at Whatever You Say Facebook Live page, and we're going to share this to our immediate pages. So that's what I'm doing now. Like I said, I'm always looking for an assistant. So if you know someone that knows someone, hit your girl up. So I'm on my page right now. I'm pressing share, more options, copy. And then I'm going to my immediate page right now. I just want to thank those. I see some people chimed in right now. So I thank you guys for tuning in. Let's see. Okay, I'm pasting. All right. We're almost done here. All right, there we go. So like I said, we are talking about core values today, and who's better to talk about it than the guest that we are introducing today. So we're just going to open up the stage for our guest today, and we'll let him introduce himself. What's up? How are you today?
I'm well.
You're well?
Yes. Thank you, for having me. I'm an advocate of gratitude. So before we go any further, I just want to give you your flowers and say I've been seeing what you've been doing. I'm a fan. I'm very humbled to be here. I'm exuberant. I'm euphoric. So, I just wanted to give you that before we started. And thank you for allowing me on your platform. I sincerely appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you for being here. I'm a little nervous today. I don't know why. Like, I even messed up my intro. So I don't know. It must be the day. It must be the guest. I don't know what it is, but like, y'all pray for me today. But it's going to be a really good show. So we're going to move forward with it. But I'm going to give you the stage right now and allow you to introduce yourself and tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, to the world, the ones that don't know me, my name is Shalil. You can follow me on Instagram at FitSha. And I'm just a paragon in my community, public speaker, a devoted son, brother, friend, and I'm just here to encourage, uplift, and inspire. That's my journey. Once again, my name is Shalil. You can follow me on Instagram at FitSha. You can follow me on Facebook at Shalil Beacons-Ader. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Shalil Beacons-Ader. So that's just who I am. Thank you, by the way.
No problem. Okay, guys, make sure you follow him. And yeah, stay tuned. It's gonna be a good show. So if y'all have questions, I already know how it goes. Make sure y'all put y'all questions up on the side. Hold on, we got people commenting already. Okay, Eric, thank you so much for chiming in. Like you do every other week. We really appreciate your support. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, let's get into the questions. Why don't we? All right. What are core values and why are they important?
Well, I would like to start by saying I think everything is perspective, right? So perspective is nothing more than the reality you see through your own eyes, right? So through my eyes, core values are something that you live and stand by, right? It doesn't change regardless of the person, the place, the activity, the mood. Your core values are your core values. Now, the reason that core values are important is because it keep you directly in line with your goals, your admirations, your dreams, your destiny. Core values keep you in line. It's almost like It's like having a big brother who's hard on you, or a mother or father that, whenever they come around, whatever they say, you shape straight up. So that's why your core values are important, because they keep you on the straight and narrow.
Oh, nice, nice. And I see that when I look at your page, I'm just speaking from like the outside looking in. It just seems like you practice what you preach because of the consistency in your life.
I try to. I really do. The hardest thing to do is keep that consistency, right? Because we're human, right? So we slip. Um, we fight temptation every day, the hustle and bustle of making money, hustle and bustle taking care of our families, being providers, protectors, especially for males.
Mhm.
So as much as possible, right? Because I like to define myself as a human being, right? Not a God, not a prophet, none of that, right? All praise be to the Most High for sure. I'm connected to Source. However, I understand that only through Him I can fully flourish and be the man that He needs me to be. So every single day I strive for perfection. I'm not trying to be perfect in no shape or form, but I do strive for perfection.
I dig that. I dig that because our goal is to be like God or
Yeah,
try to push towards being more like Him. So
that's what they say.
He said, but
Yes,
if
ma'am.
we're gonna run this race, we're gonna run it as the one who wins the prize.
I like that.
Good. Uh, let's see. How do you identify your own core values?
Well, with me personally, it's just so I discovered my core values by what I was faced with every day, right? So I grew up very impoverished. I'm the third oldest of my mother's 10 children, right? Five boys, five girls. I faced severe poverty growing up, just like any other kid that grew up in my neighborhood, right?
Mhm.
So what I started to discover was these five things that was constantly coming up. And throughout my journey in life, I discovered that I always was in the position to be a leader,
Mhm.
right? Every single day I display gratitude, right? Every single day I'm constantly learning, right? I'm engaged in health, and self-preservation coming from where I come from was higher on the list. So my own core values, I identified them based off my environment, what I was going through, what I started to tap into, right? What I started to digest, my diet, not only what I put in my body, but what I put up here. So
Mm.
that's how I was able to identify my own core values. I had to do shout out really quickly to my brother Travis Graham Jones. That's my partner when we go speak at colleges. He said something. He said we have to do a live autopsy on ourselves to
Mm.
identify why the old us died.
Mm.
So, I did that live autopsy on myself, and I discovered some core values there.
A lot of self-reflecting. It seems like you learned from what wasn't benefiting you. It sounds like
Yeah.
you seen what wasn't working and like changed it to something more like healthy or positive in your life. I like that. Let's see. How do core values impact our daily lives?
Yeah. I mean,
Hold on, I think we got a lag going on. So, how can you hear me? Let me see. We got a lag going on. Hold on.
I didn't
All
hear
right.
you what you say. Oh,
No, I think we're having a lag here with our connection. Can you hear me?
yes, ma'am.
All right. I guess it's getting back clear right now. But I said, how do core values impact our daily lives?
Um, so what I discovered was that each and every day, when I'm in those positions, once you identify your core values, each and every day, you will be placed in those positions, right? Whatever your core values is. For example, right, mine is leadership, learning, gratitude, health, and self-preservation. Every single day, those five core values impact my life. I'm in the position to lead someone. I'm in a position to teach someone. I'm in a position to display gratitude. I'm in the position to learn about health, be healthy. Again, what I digest, and of course, self-preservation in life every single day. Because I mean, I think that's the goal to longevity is self-preservation. Of course, if we state the obvious, we're going to say source, right? He gives us what we need, then we have to apply it. But I would say, that's how it would impact my lives. It just puts you, it's just going to, your values are going to put you in a position to live out your true destiny and your true purpose.
I like that. Like, I think, like, with to chime in, to piggyback off of what you're saying, in regards to self-preservation, if our body is a temple and we're here to live out our purpose, right? How can we live out our purpose if we're not even taking care of ourselves, if we're depleted, if we're, like, if this is the most important aspect of living out. So, like, this is the first thing we have to work
Yeah,
on now. Like when you were saying, the inside here, but also up here, you're feeding your mind, you're feeding your body, things of substance. So I
yes,
like that.
man. I mean, I don't truly believe a person can really know who they are without identifying their core values.
Mhm.
I personally don't think so. And there's no knock on nobody because I've been there, right?
Right, right.
And every single day I wake up, right? Of course, I connect with source and then I journal, right? So me journal, I write down my core values every single day.
Mm.
And me doing that, it really helps me to continuously live by them, continuously remind myself every single day, hey, listen, these are your core values, right? I
Mm.
had to discover that in order for me to be the man that I needed to be to ask for the blessing that I'm trying to receive. So it impacts you, but you have to know in order to get what you need to be.
Right. It doesn't sound like you're all over the place. It seems like the core values, they give you some structure in life, so you
Yeah,
won't, go outside of those boundaries that you have set for yourself.
yeah, men need structure. We need it bad. We need structure.
I mean, women, we need it too. So
Men. And I
we need to be
totally
better.
agree with you. But
Yeah.
but men, yeah, without
Yeah.
structure,
It'll be all over the place.
yeah, our life will be incomplete forever. Forever.
Do you think I don't think that you can ever be complete, but I think that,
That's a good one.
that the core values can, give you some type of structure.
Yeah, I like that never be complete though. We won't tap into that. I like that though. It's a different conversation, but I like that one.
I mean, if you want to take it there, we live. So,
Nah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't mess with women when they get started. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna do some research on it. I'm gonna
okay.
tap into
You want
source.
to double back on this? Yeah, we can have another show for that.
We're
Okay.
gonna double back.
We're
We're
going
gonna
to
double back because I like that. I like that though. We're gonna double back.
Okay. Okay. Y'all heard that, right?
We're gonna
Okay.
double back.
All right. Let's get into the next question. Um, can core values change over time and how?
Okay. Well, to be fair, I believe I believe they can
Mhm.
because you grow and you develop. So what you value today, you may not value 5, 10 years later, right? So I believe they can change based off of your growth and development, right? I
Mhm.
don't believe that. Okay, for example, a man who has kids, his core values probably was something totally different 10 years ago. Now that he have kids, it's probably family, you know, um, fatherhood. So they can change based off your situation and based off, where you are in life. I believe they can change. I sincerely do.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Would say that because of the dynamics of your life, we're
Yeah.
only living according to what we got going on right now. So,
And
uh,
life is so unpredictable,
very,
right? I'm
very.
just elated to be here, but life is so unpredictable. Unpredictable.
Yes, I'm now starting to get elated to be here because I didn't actually. Okay.
Takbir, I like that one. I like that one. You
Uh,
know, but they can change based off of, like you piggyback and said, it's just life, man. Life changes. The only thing that's constant in this world is change.
mm,
That's
okay,
it.
Mr. Deep Thinker.
Well, I got to shout out Miss Kim for that. That's my mommy. You know,
Aw, shout out to Miss Kim.
shout out Miss Kim, the one and only. She's a trip, but that's my dog right there.
Yeah. That's what's up. They all are trips though, but it's only for a reason.
Yeah.
Let's see. What are the benefits of living in alignment with your core values?
You be the what I would say the benefits of living in line with your core values is for to me you live with more humility, right? You live with more discipline, that structure. It helps you think before you act, right? And a lot of us, I would like to believe that we are God fearing, right? But I say God fearing, right? You take that them core values, you put them in a pot. Now you like, listen, I'm lit because my father gonna get me, so it's
Right.
gonna get me, and I'm trying to, live by these core values. I think the core values is a personal thing. When you locked into them, it's personal. So it's like going to the gym for a man. It's like, hey, listen, now when I go to the gym, I see the young guys in there getting busy, right? And I say, hold up, he's me 10 years earlier. So I'm like, hold up, I gotta, it's personal. He don't even know the young guys, they help me out so much. Alhamdulillah, they help me out so much because when I see them, I see a younger version of myself. So I point to them. But I see them and I say, if I was tapped into that 10, 15 years ago, 10, 15 years later, I could have been, I could have been big time, but that wasn't in the plans. I'm big time according to source. So I take that too.
Well, wherever we are is where we're supposed to be. And the core values, from what I'm hearing, maybe I need to write down my core values. I think I'm living in my core values, but never even wrote them down.
Write
But
them down.
yeah, I need to
Write
write
them down. Let's go. Give it up for the sister, like we on Nori J Champs. You know what I'm saying? Give it up for the sister, man. Write the core. But I encourage everybody, if able, every morning, get up, journal, meditate. There's many different forms of meditation. Shout out to Brick City Buddha. But it's many different forms of meditation, man. Meditate and write and journal. Write down core values. Get your mind right. Journaling is a form of meditation.
Yeah, Brick City Buddha, shout out to him. He was on a show some years ago, and when he took off and he introduced a lot of meditation retreat, and it was it was a really good experience for me. I was able to release a lot of tension that I didn't even know I had. Like we did this breathing technique where you would breathe in until you can't, inhale until you can't anymore, and then you have to let out and like yell kind of. And I was the only one left yelling. I was like, I got so much built up inside of me. But what I do is because of where I live, we have a lot of mountains and open spaces. Like that, I'll go out in the middle of nowhere and just do one of the, because I don't want nobody in my house or around my area thinking that something's wrong with me, like I'm yelling for help or something. So I took that with me, and it's so much we can have built up inside of us. If we don't release that, we're like going to end up taking it out on the next person, on the wrong person.
We don't want to do that. Yeah, we don't want to. Nobody deserves that.
No.
Subconsciously, we do it every day, though. It's crazy.
Yeah, that part.
Even in a nice way.
Yeah, that part. Yes, we're only human, right? Just my mistakes. Let's see what we have here. What are some common core values that people often share?
Share with me or just in general, like.
I mean, where you want to take the question? Can we generalize?
To be honest, I haven't met too many people, just honestly speaking, who know their core values.
I mean, I said I had to write mine down.
Yeah, so a lot of people I come in contact with when I ask them, right? So when a very important person brought it to my attention, one of my my big brothers, right? He said, you're a great young brother. I love you, but what are your core values? So he told me, so he said, don't answer it. He said, what are your five best football players of all time? I knew that, but he said, stop, but you don't know your core values. Something's wrong with this picture, right?
Right.
It's almost equivalent to a child who know all the lyrics to a song, but can't read on his grade level. Something is wrong with this picture, because what you're giving your time to is not enhancing you further.
I agree.
So I haven't met a lot of people who actually know their core values. Now, a lot of, like you said, I will agree with that. A lot of us are living them, right? We're living in them. But once we identify them, we going to another level. Because now we on 10. We ain't dealing with certain stuff. We ain't listening to certain stuff. We
Right.
know we ain't taking nothing. We ain't off nothing. It ain't happening. I ain't off.
Right.
So
That part.
I haven't met too many people who know it. And real quick, a lot of people would say their core values is loyalty, honesty, and yes, I will say this to their defense: it's all it's all perspective, right? It's based off who's describing what loyalty and honesty is. But if you know you are a liar, you shouldn't put that in your core. You shouldn't put that in your core values.
Right.
Loyalty is subjective, like I said, to who's describing it, but I feel like a lot of us are going to say our core values are things that they think people would mark as cool or good, instead of really discovering what are their core values.
And I think I want to write it down, because I like I said, I live in my core values, but I think if I wrote it down, my core values would be more structured. Like, and I can do those things like every day. So yeah, like that's what I was getting to on my end. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I can write these down and make sure that I'm projecting that each day, and then that way I won't be so scattered. You know, like, and like you said, I write down my core values every day. So if you're like living in those core values every day, then you won't skip a beat.
You won't skip a beat. Even, you know, they hold you so accountable.
Yeah.
They hold you so accountable because, like I said, you make it real personal. And in terms of effort, nobody can judge effort, because effort is between you and you. Nobody can judge your effort. So I would tell people, I would encourage people and uplift people to just, hey, make the effort. You know, they might change. Some people core values may change as they start to learn them. That's okay. As long as you get yours down pat, it will impact your life, which will able you to impact someone else's life. Because knowledge is to be passed.
Each one teach one.
That's right. Shout out to Bill Ward, God rest his soul, brother to brother.
And so yeah, like also with like, well, you said like core values can change, right? Just piggybacking off what you're saying. Yeah, the core values, they change, but don't let them change so frequently, because like you said, you have to get them down pat. You know, living in them, because a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So it's like, you know, I would suggest, just a suggestion, is just like, yeah, get those down pat before you start working into the next ones, because it's so many people out here that are very talented and they have so much going for themselves. However, they are like jack of all trades, master of none, all over the place.
You call them the poor righteous teachers, huh? But I do get what you're saying, and I think your perspective makes a lot of sense also. So I'm with you. But as long as they make the effort, they'll be fine.
Yes, make the effort and keep making that same effort just for a while. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm with you.
Let's see. How can communication help in identifying and living according to core values?
Well, communication makes the world go round. So proper communication. My mother always taught me that is proper communication makes the world go round. When we listen to understand instead of rebuttal, communication is good. When it's the other way around, communication is totally lost. This is why the proverb says you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. But when you communicate good, your core values seem to flow like a river, really much easier. Just flow like a stream or river. Communication is everything, man. Without communication, you really have nothing. Like you said, you'll be all over the place without communication.
Yeah.
All over the place.
All over the place. Effective, like you said, good communication, effective communication, because what I've learned in these years of my life is that like I ask questions. Like I'm
Mhm.
not going to assume, because you can look in a dictionary and there's many ways, like there's many definitions to a word. So
Yeah.
it's like how is this being used? I'm learning not to,
Mm.
as my ways of thinking that word is used may be different from your ways of thinking. And so I'm always like asking questions now, or if I feel like I'm not sure, I'm like, what did you mean when you said this? So I can
Mm.
get a deeper understanding of this. So yes, proper communication, and this is taught over time. It's trial and error, and it's only if you're open and you're emotionally intelligent enough. Because I grew up in a space where there were a lot of overly offensive people. Like, what do you mean?
Mm.
And I'm like, I'm telling you what I mean. This is what I mean. What do you mean? I'm like really upset. And I'm like, okay, is this about to turn into a fight? Because I'm really just trying to tell you what I mean. You know, some people, it's like lack of communication and things of that
Yeah.
nature can, it doesn't matter what you say. Ignorance is like ignorance. And you can't get mad at that person. You just got to look at it like, okay, I get your communication. I see that. You're not going to hear me. Whatever I'm trying to project is not, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to go this way. Because so you got to know what battles, you got to choose your battles
But
wisely.
we gotta pray for those people.
Yes, that part. I mean, and we have to be mindful too, like as being
Yes, ma'am.
wise.
We just gotta pray for them.
You
Hope
can't
they
stop
get it.
anybody. Oh yes, that
You
part. Because
know.
if it don't come through me, I pray that it comes through somebody else. But I'm not gonna put myself in a position to get harmed in any way. I'm not gonna listen, jump in
Listen. Stay dangerous. Stay
no,
dangerous.
I'm trying to protect my femininity. I don't have time to fight nobody else. Like I listen,
Mm.
I don't want to argue. I don't want to fight. I don't have time.
Listen. Jay-Z said something I never forgot, and I heard it. I was a young whippersnapper, but he said,
You know,
um,
young whippersnapper.
yeah, it's just me. I've got a birthday coming up. But what he said was, people from a distance, shouldn't. He said you should never argue with a fool because people from a distance can't tell who's who. So, in terms of those people, we just got to pray for them. When we argue with fools
We're full
from the
too.
outside looking in, they don't know. Yeah, they don't know who the fool is.
Yeah,
And many of
exactly.
our family members, some of our family members, our good friends, they can be foolish. Yes,
Right.
argue.
Yes, yes. Well,
Instead of arguing, just smile and say, "You're right."
you know what? You're right.
That's all.
You're right. Like, and you know what? Like the word says, like if you argue with a fool, you're just as much as a fool. So it's like, and I remember I just want to give like just a little scenario that happened to me. And so I went to I had to use the restroom really bad. I hate using public restrooms, but I'm just like, if you gotta go, you gotta go, right? So I went to the public restroom, and as I'm using a public restroom, um,
Mhm.
you could tell whoever was in there prior to me. And ladies, clean off your toilet seat. That's disgusting. But anywho, when I went to a public restroom, I make sure even if
Mhm.
I didn't make the mess, I will clean up, because like if I'm leaving out of there, it's a projection of the person who left out, right? So I cleaned up that area, even if it wasn't my mess, and it became my mess. So I was like, no, whoever sees me walk out of here, they're gonna know that this is a clean stall. So went in there,
Yes, that's crazy. That's what.
used the restroom, and it was what was it, one of those toilets that automatically flush, right? It has no button or anything, so it just flushes on its own. So then I went to grab some tissue, what have you. I know this TMI, but it's going to make sense in a minute. So I went to go grab some tissue, and I went to go clean off the toilet
Yeah.
because I seen it was like somebody made a mess prior to, and I'm just cleaning up my area. So I went to go put the toilet tissue in the toilet, right? And then the darn thing didn't flush. Now I'll tell you, it's a mechanic. I mean, it's like one of those automated flushers. So I'm like, it flushed the first time. Why is it not flushing this time? I'm like so mad. I'm like standing there, like, when is this thing gonna flush, right? Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. He'll be coming back. I think his phone's ringing. So anyway, guys. So what happened was I go to this stall, right? And I'm cleaning off. So the lady is like, I walk out, there's a lady standing there. And mind you, when I first came into the stall, it was like when I came into the restroom, that was the only stall available for me. So I went into there and it was the biggest one, what have you. So I go in there and I come out, the lady's standing there and she's looking at me with this face. So she walks in after me. She's like, you didn't flush the toilet. I was like, yes, I did. I just was waiting for it to flush again because I was cleaning my area. So then she comes, like, then I'm like going to wash my hands. So then she keeps bothering me. She was like, this is a handicap stall. So I'm like, I know that, ma'am. And then she was like, well, this is for handicapped people. And I said, thank you very much. Now, in that moment, I could have went back and forth with this lady for just trying me each time. But I just decided to, like, just walk away. Because like we were saying, like, if you're arguing with fools, you're just as much as a fool as them. So let me introduce my guests back into the room. Let's see what we have here. So welcome back. No, but I was just telling him, like, it was a lady waiting outside the stall, right? You can hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And
ma'am.
as she's waiting outside, because when I first came in, it was a big stall. And that was the only one available. The other ones weren't available. So I took what was available. So as I'm leaving out, she's walking in. She was like, you didn't flush the toilet because I got you so a tissue. And I was like, ma'am, I did flush the toilet. I'm like, I did flush the toilet. And so she's like, I said I did flush the toilet. I was just cleaning up my area and I was waiting for the toilet to flush, but it didn't. It's like one of those, it's I can't manually flush the toilet, basically. So I'm going to wash my hands. That she's like getting at me now, like, this is like a handicap bathroom. So it just seems like she just kept picking at me to see if I was going to like respond back to her. But I just end up responding back to her because I'm just like, in that moment, I just said, thank you, ma'am. Have a great day. And I went to go wash my hands. And she had nothing to say to me. And I've noticed that, like, in life, when you do not entertain that mess, sometimes you're not even a problem. I probably was looking really nice that day. And she was just, upset. I don't know, but I mean, I might be the problem because she has a problem. I don't know, but I don't put myself into those scenarios. And I just was really nice to her. I was like, okay, ma'am, thank you. And I went to go wash my hands and left out. But I'm not.
It never pays. It never pays to argue with fools, man. And that because all they do, I call them energy drainers. All they're gonna do is drain your energy. And then when for some reason after they argue with you, they have a lot of energy. You
They
just
do,
drain
right?
my energy.
Depleted. Like, what? I'm like, no, you are getting off from this. I've noticed that in my past that you have to be mindful, even if it's like relational or anything. Like, you have to protect your energy at all costs, because some people will come in and they will, like, because you're a light, let me get as much as I can from this person. And then it's like you really can drain yourself by trying to lift people up. It's like, now this is the way I'm gonna lift you up. Catch me on Instagram, get a message, watch my story.
Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
So I'm not gonna go through it.
It's really befuddling to me because a lot of times, right? I walk down the street and I'll speak to people and they'll look me dead in my face and keep walking. Now, before I have knowledge of thyself, I used to take it very personal. Because I'm like, bro, I'm just speaking to you. Like, you don't have to be that way with me. But now, after discovering understanding,
Right.
I realize that a lot of people just don't want you to see their insecurities, their fears, their doubts. So even when you're being nice, right? You're being kind, you're being, charitable, they're gonna have a problem with you. And I realize those type of people, to me personally, is crazy. Because if you cannot identify a person who's being sincere to you,
Right.
is either you on serious drugs
Yeah, toxicity.
or you working for the devil. Either way, I don't want nothing to do with you.
You know what? And it is so crazy. It's funny you say that, because growing up they call me Smiley, right? In high school and everything, right? So like my son is the same way. My son's like very happy-go-lucky. But when people meet you and you're a very happy-go-lucky person, it's hard for them to believe that you are that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why. Like, somebody will see you smiling, they're like, oh, she's fake. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. But after a while, I've learned to build my boundaries. Um, I've learned to build my boundaries. So hold on, we got some connection issues. After a while, you learn to build your boundaries. So hold on, let me we'll get back to our guest. But in the meantime, in between time, Eric said, don't let low vibration people drag you down and keep on shining. You got this. LOL, this brother is funny. Respect. What's up, Hakeem? Thanks for chiming in. Much respect. What's up, Romaine? I appreciate you so much. Listen, show some love. Tell us where y'all chiming in from. Chime in, chime in, chime in. Until we're waiting to get our guests back on the scene, I just want to tell you guys that I really appreciate y'all. I was a little nervous today. I don't know what it was. I didn't even say my intro correctly. I didn't even say my intro correctly. I think like today was one of those days. My son had a parent teacher conference. Shout out to my girl Ika. We did a photo shoot today for her business, and we did some video work. So y'all be on the lookout for that. That will be something that I start introducing, like little commercials for Black owned businesses. So if you have a business, and just like businesses in general, if you have a business, hit us up at whateveryousay.info@gmail.com, or you can upload it through the website www.whateveryousay.podcast.com. So yeah, like I'm here to support. Listen, each one teach one. We're here to educate the race. So if you got something going on, hit me up. You know how that goes. All right, let's introduce our guest back in the room. It's all good. It happens. We are live, so
Yeah,
don't.
I don't understand. It's the devil. He don't want me to be great so bad, but it's okay. He always hate on me. It's okay.
We are live. It happens. You're not the first, and you're not the last. So we just keep it going. And listen, we missed you while you was going. We was missing you while you was
Yeah,
going.
it was a little crazy. The devil. He want me to come play with him, but I told him I done took a turn for the best. So
I know that's right.
can't play in the elephant graveyard. Shout out to Simba from the Lion King.
I'm done with you. Help him, Lord. Help him.
Help me, man.
Oh my goodness. Oh, here's one for you. What is the difference between personal core values and organizational core values?
Well, I think your personal core values is just something that you seek, right?
Mm,
So before we get what I'll say organization, right?
yeah,
I have to come to the table knowing what I stand for, right? So it's really not too much of a difference. But what I will say is this: I got to come to the table as the man or woman knowing what I stand on, what I stand for. Now I can take my core values and implement those into the company structure or the business structure. Um, the difference is that with my core values, I have to keep those in line, right? With a company or organization, it's a team effort. So that cohesive unit, we have to work hard together to keep all those values in line for the betterment of the business or the organization or the family. Like I said, when you don't have a family, when you just have you, right? I don't have children, right? But when you just have you, your core values, that's for you. When you have the family, now it goes from Shalil having his own personal meetings to listen. Every Monday night, it's the family meeting. These the values his family stand on, and we have to work hard to keep this cohesive unit afloat.
that's
So I
right.
think the difference is just one person versus two, three, or four people. You're right. Shout out to Big Mama on Soul Food, right? She said you make the fist. The fist hits harder than the hand. You know what I'm saying? So right now I got the hand, right? The hand, it hurts. The
Jesus.
hand will hurt, but the fist putting you out for sure.
For sure.
Right? The fist is the family. The fist is the organization.
That right.
The fist is the company. The
Mm-hmm.
slap, that's the personal. That's the personal. So the difference to sum it all up, the difference is just one versus many working together.
I'm gonna go back and watch Soul Food because
It was a jewel. Big Mama dropped a jewel in Soul
like
Food,
Rhonda,
right?
she did. She did.
Yeah,
That's one of my favorite movies, but I'm like, hold on, I must have forgot that part.
yeah.
Um, So yeah, I like that. And you know what's so cool from what you just said? I think it's cool. I don't think that families create core values.
Mm.
That would be like really dope for families to create core values. I remember one time this guy asked me, I never did it yet because I was like, I don't know if this is the person for me.
Mhm.
But he was like, let's make a vision board together. And I'm like, if I write this vision, I don't know if this, like, I don't know if this is like, it was too early for him to ask me to make a vision board.
Yeah, that was a good idea. I'm gonna tell you why I
Because
think it was a good
I
idea.
didn't want to do it yet because I wasn't sure. I think that was a beautiful idea. And I said, I'm gonna save that for somebody that
That's
we
just platonic friendship. That's platonic friendship. So to me, what
okay.
now? I'm not saying this was what the brother was trying to do, but to me, if a man loves you or like you,
Uh-huh.
right? He might understand that. Listen, this sister, she might not view me like that, but people who like you, they want the best for you.
Right.
I get it from your perspective. You like, listen, I don't want you to think that we creating this vision board means you and I. I
No,
get that.
because it was only like the second day. It was too early to do a vision board. Like I felt
I
like that
feel
was
you.
a beautiful idea. I think that like it was so beautiful. I was like, oh my goodness, like that was very creative and thought out. But it's like, let's make sure like them layers, let me see some layers peel back a little bit before I'm sitting here writing a vision out with you and making it clear. Because I felt like if I'm going to write a vision with somebody, like we gotta be on the same page. And it's like after 2 days, I don't think that I'm on that page. And he was talking relationship after, like, I just met you, bro. Like, and
You
I
know
get it.
what?
I don't know. I get it, but it was kind
I
of
feel
scary.
you.
It was the
I feel
second
you. It was in that case, I'm with you, right? It was a little bit too early
it was
to
a
be
little bit
talking
early,
to.
but I thought the thought was so different. I was like, I'm gonna hold
Yeah.
that. I feel bad. Like I'm like take this idea and use it somewhere else. Probably.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. Whatever God has for me, I don't know. But I thought,
But to it was a beautiful idea.
wasn't it? I was like, oh,
Yeah. That brother was a little brother was a little slick, just too early, huh?
I know, right? And shout out to my to my friend Romaine that I knew since high school. He was like, he said, I ain't gonna say that old boy was capping. He said, because I see like what he sees in you, but at the
Yeah.
same time, he was like, that's a little bit too soon. So this is always good to have like close, like either brothers, cousins, close, like if you got a close guy friend or something like that, that can
Mhm.
remind you of these things, So I'm really,
But that was a good call. That was a good call in your end. That was a good call.
yeah, I
A little
like.
bit too. It was too early. It was the second day, second time you said it was a little bit. That was too early.
I think like
I
in the
agree.
mind, if you see like the person is the one, just kind of holding it a little bit because like you just gotta pull back a few more layers and just make sure because
Yeah.
I might just be the one for the day. Like you,
For the day, dang.
I mean, not thinking of myself like that, but I'm just speaking a generalized statement. Like you might
Yeah.
just like me today. You might not like who I am tomorrow. So like I believe that like in order for me to really get to know somebody and see myself with somebody, I will give it a good year because I want to see you in all seasons.
I like
So
that.
winter, spring, summer, and fall. Like, let's see. And I want to see how mad is you're mad, like, and how happy is you're happy when you're discouraged. Like everything. I need to see everything now. At when you're in a younger stage, when I was younger, I think a lot of time we base things on appearance. I always been a sapiosexual, so like I don't just base it on appearance, but I think that first,
Mm.
you know, that first look at someone like, okay, you're someone nice I could look at. But then it's like you start peeling back those layers and it's like, I can't even have a conversation with you. I can't,
Yeah.
uh, like, I don't even care how you look. You just like gotta go right
That's
now.
when the separation starts. So.
Yes. So it's just like, as I'm getting older and I'm just like core values
Core
unknown
values, keep them in line, man.
wine
You
and
need them.
yes, like yeah, and yeah, life is lifing. It's learning though. Hopefully for all, you taking what you learn and applying it to your life because it's a beautiful thing. It's a what I told my friend. I wrote it in my book. I called it a beautiful mess.
Beautiful mess. I like that. It's a
Mess.
beautiful mess.
Yeah. Let me see. Long as people willing to clean it up, just clean it up, clean up your mess. We
That's
humans. We're gonna make some mistakes and make a mess, but clean
the
it up.
go. Clean up your mess. Like
Clean it up. How can living according to our core values improve our relationships with others?
they hold you accountable.
Mm,
Accountability is everything, right? So if you share your core values with your significant other, right? Because a lot of times, I was just having this conversation. A lot of times, people we will tell you our core values,
mm,
right? But then if you watch a person close enough, so my thing is this: if you tell me your core values,
mhm.
and I watch you, and I know you're not living up to them, I can check you on that. I can't assume what your core values is. A man or woman, from my perspective, from where I sit, should not assume what anyone core values is. Shout out to the book, The Four Agreements. One of the agreements was never make assumptions. So I can't assume what your core values are.
Yeah.
But if you tell me, I can
Mm,
hold you accountable for them now. So if
right.
you tell me, if I tell you, hey, one of my core values, is leadership, you could tell me, hey, that's not being a leader. You think going out here embarrassing your family is being a leader? I'm holding you accountable. That's not, see? So when you tell your significant other your core values, it helps in the relationship because they hold you accountable according to them, right?
Mm,
So
right.
like shout out to my brother Nori Muhammad, really good brother of mine, Nori Muhammad. He has his book, and the book is called Before I Say I Do.
Mm,
And we beat down sometimes, me and Nori. But he said one of your biggest decisions in life as a man, after finding, a God to believe in, whatever your, preferable religion is going to be the find a woman you spend the rest of your life with,
mm,
because she can either make you or break you, and it's really that
mm.
simple. But if you get a woman and you tell her, listen, this is my core values, I want to install these into our unit, our cohesive unit, and I'm not living. Oh, you said your core values was learning. I don't see you reading no more.
All right, hold on. It's getting juicy up in here. It's getting juicy up in here. Is everybody enjoying the show? So far, it is getting juicy up in here. We just make sure we remember what he said, his last statement. So yeah, thank you all for chiming in. I thought I seen my boy Dr. Love Jones. We gotta get you back on the show, Dr. Love Jones. I seen you went on a little hiatus, but you back again, better than ever, bro. So I see you. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. So we were just talking about a core values in the relationships and holding each other accountable. So we're gonna bring him back in so he could pick up where he left off. I know that's right. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, bro, all the time. You know how far we go back. Shout out to Alpha Talk. I know Hakeem's supposed to be having an Alpha Talk, sent his socials and things going on. So shout out to Hakeem Telefero. I got you, bro. I got you. I got you. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the strong foundation of men who have came into my life, and it's very appreciative. Shout out to Nemi Hendrix, shout out to just many people that are in my life that upholds me in such a respectful position, and I appreciate that. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. All right, so like you were saying, as far as being in a relationship and you guys
Yeah,
being
be back
accountable.
when it's real. It's a lot of when it's real. It's a lot of interference.
Oh, that part. That part.
Yeah, just in the nutshell, it just hold us accountable. When we display those to each other,
Right.
it hold us accountable because now we can be checked on that, right?
Right.
Like I said, you tell me what your core values are, you get checked on it.
Right. And I like that. I think like as time is going on, because there's a lot of gender wars, there's a lot of miscommunication.
Yeah,
Knowing who you are, this is so deep. I'm enjoying this conversation. I just want to say, but knowing who you are is very important, and I do appreciate you for being on the show because we're going to help save a lot of people, just from the gems that you are spilling, and all the quotes you're giving from the movies and the books and and everything.
yeah,
It's really dope. So because you can find inspiration in anything, so that's very
yeah.
inspiring. um so knowing who you are is important, right? So one time, recently, shout out to my girlfriend Janae, and we were having a conversation. Somebody asked her, "Who are you?" And she sat there and
Mm,
read to me who she was. The good parts she knew about herself, even the bad parts. Like, to know that about yourself, she broke down who she was. She broke down what her flaws were, and what have you. So I think it's important for us to know who we are. A lot of times we say we know who we are. Um, Knowing who you are, knowing what you want as well. But the
yeah,
things that we want, sometimes, like, are you living up to the things that you want? We expect so much from a person when we can't even, do that for ourselves. We sometimes we want people to do more for us than we would even do for ourselves. Like, if that
that's
makes any sense. Um, so like lately I've been learning about writing down who I am. Tonight, I'm going to make sure that I structure out my core values. And
gold.
not only that, I think it's important for people to know what their love language is too.
Ooh, now you talking? Okay, excuse me.
So I think like this is really dope because if they have all those things in alignment, I think like moving forward and knowing yourself and knowing what you want out of life and know what you expect. And there has to be some type of compromise in the middle because it can't just go, where can we meet in the middle? Because it's so much of my way, my way, my way. But it's like when you become one, it's our way,
Yeah,
so I think that's really dope. Creating core values and relationships, that's dope, because that's why I brought up like the vision board type of thing. Just kind of like want to say, I'm like, yo, that's really dope, like, to be with somebody and have them hold you accountable. But do you ask that person to hold you accountable? Because some people don't know. I can give you my vision and make it clear, but some people, like Music Soul Child, shout out to him, he said, teach me how to love, right? So it's like
mm,
I have to teach you. I mean, whether some people think it's bad or not, I've had friends in the past, like I've seen some people like really yell at their man for not, doing what she wanted him to do. And she's like, I've been with him for so and so X amount of years and he still don't know me. And I was like, maybe you need to teach him. Maybe you need to tell him. Maybe he don't know that part of you. And it's okay if well, he should know because he's been with me all this time. I don't think he probably do know because you've been yelling probably for all these years. You don't know what to do. Like,
yeah,
so um yeah, we have to help teach each other and don't have an expectation thinking like, oh, you live life this long. You don't know what a person's background is. If a person like you enough and if they're able to, then they will fulfill those needs in your life or those wants or what have you, if that is the case. So it's like, don't have expectations on people to come prepared and
yeah.
come.
That can be it too. That can be it.
Yeah, too many expectations. Like, we come from different backgrounds. We might probably came from speaking different languages, different upbringings. It's like, I can't expect you to know what I went off that. I can't expect you to know. Like, some people like flowers, some people like plants. I don't care for flowers. I like things that can live.
Yeah,
So it's just like learning people, taking your time and not having expectations. Like, what's wrong with asking someone, what is it that you like? You know,
yeah.
like. Life. Let's see. We got two more questions. Guys, I know that you want him to stay longer, but he does have a line. Let me see. We got Javon. I agree with creating core values and relationships. Many relationships fail because people are core values aren't in alignment. Yeah, and sometimes you can introduce something to somebody. Like, you may not be in alignment, but like if I
Yeah,
see that something is very logical and I could fit in a certain gap, then I'm willing to do that because honestly, a woman anyway is supposed to be a helpmate. In my
yeah,
singleness, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm this, I'm that, but like as a wife or what have you, I'm your helper. Where can I fit in? Where can I take some of the load off of you? Where can I fit in? So it's just like women are really like the helpers.
yeah. And I totally agree with the brother too. A lot of times the core values are not aligned,
Right.
right? So if I can give, my humble opinion, I would say a lot of times women are naturally driven to power, right? And that can be the education, that can be strength, that can be, money, whatever her source of power is. A lot of what I come to discover in my life is, if I'm going to say the reason one of my core values is leadership is because I truly was taught by my mom that attitude reflects leadership. My attitude is going to reflect my leadership. I lead by example. A
Right.
woman would naturally want to follow me, naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be patient with each other. We have to be patient with our women because we have done each other wrong so much, right? And I say we, and like in terms of the brothers, because I'm guilty of this also. I grew up in an environment where, it was cool to be a player, right? But what they didn't tell me was, you heard that girl at 16, another man come hurt her at 21, another man at 27. By 35, she, no wonder she's masculine, or no wonder she has an attitude problem. Her whole life been filled with hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to take accountability on that. But
Yeah.
I say that to say that when a man is leading by example, a woman have no problem letting her guards down,
Right.
unblocking them walls, because a brother's going to tear right through your walls when he's leading by example, and you're
Right.
going to have to follow him, or you're going to get out of his way.
That part.
Whichever one you choose to do, that brother's going to continue being a leader. But I do
That,
agree with the brother. A lot of times they don't be in line. So as the leaders, we have to just lead by example, and she have to hold us accountable, and vice versa, based off those core values. But the brother at point, I couldn't agree with him more. A lot of times it don't
right.
be in line because we were two different people wanting two different things, trying to make it work because of love.
Mm. But do you think that you should be? That's a good point. Because well, yeah, I think that's,
Yes.
I'm going through my brain right now. I'm going through my mind. Uh, so two people trying to make things work out of love. Um, Trying to piggyback off of it because I'm trying to see how I'm trying to structure my question because this question isn't part of it. But like going off of it, my thoughts is that a man is supposed to lead anyway. My thought is that a man's supposed to lead
Mhm.
anyway. So even though some
Yeah.
things are out of alignment, as you say, the aggressive female, her walls are gonna break down. Honestly, we're gonna wait because this is getting juicy. The enemy does not want this conversation to go on. The enemy don't want this conversation to go on. So anywho, like let's see. So Javon is saying expectations isn't the problem. It's the communication. Many people have high expectations and low communication. I'm that's another good point. You pulling points out your book, bro. What's going on? All right, here we go. Like, cause this is a really good conversation, and I think that it's some forces trying to keep it from going, but it is what it is. We're gonna get through this conversation tonight. So, um, my thought is that in my beliefs, not even my thought, because I don't go off my thoughts, I go off what I believe.
Yes, man.
My belief that came up in my thoughts is that women are just the helpers. Innately, naturally, I want to be home. I want to attend to my family. I want to be at home. I wouldn't mind doing work from home. I wouldn't mind being home, being there for my family. I've now like my thing in my life is to walk in that what I want to do. So I have a virtual podcast. I don't have to leave my house if I want to be with my family. I don't have to leave my house to run a business online. So it's like creating and cultivating that lifestyle so I can protect my femininity. I know how it is for women to walk in masculinity because you got to bear so much. But what I suggest to women is to protect, don't put yourself in spaces like if you know a man is causing you to be, if it's a man that's causing you to be a little bit more masculine, why would you stay in spaces like that? It's about like I protect my femininity. I probably won't take on a job that's going to cause me to be masculine. I won't listen to music that will like
I
I'm
think that.
protecting my energy at all costs. I'm lighting candles when I'm taking a bubble bath. I'm doing certain things like I'm protecting my femininity. In the meantime, I'm like, okay, I still want to work because that's what I'm going to do. Because God forbid things fall, I can be able to catch that person I'm with. Like, okay, here you won't be able to fall because it's like I'm supposed to be the bounce back or make sure you don't fall. I'm supposed to be having you in a space where it's like your mind's right, you coming home to a place of peace. But it's different. We live in a time now. I've ran into like older and new people all day today. And it was like, it's so hard to date out here. It's like from the youngest I met. Shout out to the young lady I met today. I don't want to put her name out there. And it's like an older woman who is like senior. And like it's a lot of like lonely people out here. I feel like if people just like live in their purpose, just live in your purpose, it's just a lot. It's a lot of lonely people.
Yeah.
So I pray for them for real. So just stay in alignment, you know. I know we get discouraged sometimes. I know we may get discouraged. You'll see couples online, but you don't know what they're going through. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and not to say try to think of them as having a bad relationship because they might have a good relationship, but that's their business.
Yeah.
The thing is like just live your life, get yourself in a space, work on your core values,
We
work on
have to.
certain space, and you might run into that person that aligns with your purpose on the way to the direction you're trying to be, if that is the case, you know. So
And it's very hard to find two people who are aligned because a lot of times both people are unfinished products, right? So me and my brother, shout out to my brother Skylar Thompson, we talk about this a lot, right?
Mhm.
A lot of us, especially men, we're unfinished products. So you're trying to lead a woman when you're not even complete as a man. And that's a problem because in order to lead, and when I say complete, a lot of us don't even have the basics together,
Mm,
right? And we don't have, for one, you don't have knowledge of self. You don't know financial literacy. You're not constantly educating yourself. As the leader of a family, you are the hierarchy.
mm.
So it's God, man, woman,
That
child.
part. That part.
So as after God, because you want your woman to fear God more
That
than you, because that's gonna keep the structure. But after that, everybody looks to you. The Lion King can teach a lot of people great values of life. Like Mufasa said, I'll never forget, one day the sun will set on my time, Simba, and rise on yours. Meaning
that
the torch have to be passed. But if
right.
I'm not a good king and I pass down bad habits, no
Mm,
wonder my son is not a good king. I
that
pass
part.
down bad habits.
That part.
We have to be finished products. And being a finished product is taking the time daily to do the core work. So often, and I say we, because I don't exclude myself, but so often we do the exterior work, right? So
Mm.
we are like,
Woo.
we fit chest, arms, everything, but inside is frail because you don't do the core work.
That
You don't do the work internally. And
mm,
when the work is not done internally, you present yourself to be an unfinished product. And shout out to my brothers because we sit around and we talk about this and we hold each other accountable also. Your
mm.
circle. Shout out to Ray Lewis. I met that brother, powerful brother. He said, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. And 9 times out of 10, I believe that to be true.
I agree. I agree. Well said. We have a comment from Leisha Durham. She says, just don't date backwards. Feminine women submit to masculine males. Indeed, if she is submitting to any other type of male, she is broken woman who consciousness is rebuilt. Same with a man. And she said, big ups to both of y'all. Thank you, Leisha. Really appreciate that. And we have one last question, unfortunately.
Yes, ma'am.
How does having good communication or rapport with others contribute to living in alignment with our
Okay.
values? Hold on. I don't hear your volume. Hold on. Let's see. Like this conversation is too good that it's just making, you know, it's just making him go in and out of this is the first time. Well, not the first time because I had someone on my show if y'all look back at one of the episodes on millennial dating, one of my friends, no, was it that one? It was one or two of them, but it's like when the conversations are going really well, listen, the service is, it goes in and out. But I just want to thank you guys again for tuning in as we wait on him to come back into the room. Thank you, Cuzzo. Thank you, Cuzzo. I'm loving it too. It's a really good conversation, right? It's going places. So and Shiloh's going places too. So y'all make sure that y'all, follow him and make sure that y'all stay tuned to what he's doing. As I'm watching him just develop as a person, I seen him get online one day and then all of a sudden he just started taking off and I'm like, oh, okay. That's what's up. And I remember one time I was looking for him and I couldn't find him until I was having a recent show. And I'm like, there he goes. I've been looking for him. And when I seen him again, I was like, oh, look at all the things that he's doing, in his community. So it's very, it's nice when you see people living in their purpose and growing. And I'm here to support it. And I told him that before and I live up to my word. So, what my dad used to say, your word is bond. So, let's get him back in the room to answer this question.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
It's all good. It's all good. No explanations. We go just like,
Yes, ma'am. Let's get this one. So what's the question?
How does having good communication or rapport with others contribute to living in alignment with our core values?
Well, I believe having good communication, as stated earlier, is just key to life, right? So if I'm impeccable with my word, right? You know that if I tell you something, my word is bond. See, when my grandfather was coming up, it wasn't any contracts. It was a handshake. Your word was bond. That was everything.
Yeah.
Right? So if you told somebody, listen, if I borrow this money from you, I'll give it back to you, Monday, right? If you had a good word, you can stand on that. So having good communication, it really helps people, see you in a different light. Because if you can't make it, one time I ruined a great opportunity I had with the mayor of East Orange, which is my man. I love it. That's still my guy. Shout out to Mayor Green. But he had a really good opportunity for me, and he had everything set up for me. He went real above and beyond for me, and I didn't even show up. And instead of turning his back on me, he pulled me aside and said, let me teach you something, man. Communication is vital to your survival, especially as a man. If you couldn't make it, you're not gonna, distress me by telling me you can't make it, but you did by not showing up. I didn't get a call from you. I didn't get a text from you, because now you got me looking stupid, and I can't even tell the people anything because you didn't communicate with me. Again, I go back to the 4 agreements. One of them I love too, is one of my favorite ones, is be impeccable with your word. Your word is everything.
Yeah.
So when that word is good, it's almost like consignment. See, I came from my brothers who come from the street life. I can teach y'all that when you enter the street life, you get something on the arm, you just get it on consignment, which means, okay, I'm gonna front you. That's on consignment. Let's take it out of the street life. Let's go to credit. You walk into the bank, you say, listen, I need to borrow 50,000. Oh, I'm gonna give it to you on consignment because your word, which is your credit, is good. You got that. But let me tell you something. If you don't pay me back, people hit you with so much interest, you ain't never gonna want to borrow from me again. But when you're impeccable and that communication is good, you have no problems. Be impeccable with your word and everything else will fall in line. When you impeccable with your word, they can hold you accountable. When the people can hold you accountable, you're gonna hold yourself even higher based off your core values. Because you ain't gonna want people to view you in a negative light. So if you can't make something or you can't do something, hey, listen, I'm sorry, something came up. And I ain't talking about telling them a couple of minutes before. Real quick before I pass you the mic. My man got married on 26. Shout out to him and his beautiful bride. But on that same date, I had a meeting in Middlesex County with Rutgers, New Brunswick, and some people work out of there. I totally forgot about the wedding because I was so ecstatic to be a part of that up there.
Right.
That I forgot that I'm actually in someone's wedding on that date at that time. Mayor Tamir Green played in my head instantly. Because to be honest, sometimes I still got to muster up the courage because I'm a person who suffer from, not wanting to let nobody down.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, I don't even know the words to say, But I mustered it up and I said, you know what? Let me send a email. Kind of find out when I was sending her the email, she was sending me one that said the event was postponed. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, what if I never even reached out to that sister?
Mm.
She's like, even though they were sending me one, it's still common courtesy because you gave somebody your word already, and I already committed to that. Not knowing I committed to the wedding prior.
Right.
So just be impeccable with your word. You're impeccable with your word. People view you different. When they view you different, you hold yourself up like a big dog, and big dogs like to be looked at as little pups. And when you're a little pup, you really ain't got no pull nowhere. You
Mm.
can't change nothing from the outside. All the brothers that's on the inside. They word means something in politics, on the street level, in the
Yeah.
credit world,
Yeah.
in the money laundering world, in the lending world. Everybody who has good word, that's who hold all the weight. That's who got all the juice, right?
Right.
Like I said, politics. The mayor tells somebody, listen, I want this guy working up here. It's gonna happen because they know he's not gonna send nobody up there who ain't gonna work because his word is good.
Right.
So that's how I think it all correlates to giving you that answer. Me personally.
I like that. I like that. I just started reading the Four Agreements, right? And one of the things that, like, being impeccable with your word, if you know you have like some memory issues, get a calendar. Get
Yeah.
a calendar, even if you have to write it. Like I have calendars everywhere. I have a physical calendar. I have a erasable calendar in my room, and I have
I like that.
a reminder calendar in my phone. So with me,
Mhm.
as I'm getting older and I'm taking on other responsibilities, I'm aligning. First, I write in my physical calendar, and then I'll take from my physical calendar and place it on my erasable each month. I'm like erasing it, putting it back up, adding to it so I can physically see it right there. So when I'm talking to people, but I make sure it's you got to make sure it's in every calendar because like if
Yeah.
you might be out and about and be like somebody like, oh, can you take on this date or whatever? And I'll look at my calendar. I'll be like, oh, let me check, So yeah, so like have a calendar because I messed up too. I'm only saying that because I was messing up rapports with people once upon a time because of the mind state I was in at the
Yeah.
time. I was building, I was getting myself established and the things that I was doing, and everything was moving so fast that I was saying yes to everyone, right? And then when the day comes, I got 2, 3 events. I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I make this work? And then
Yeah.
eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a break. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write this out. I'm going to write down my whole month and I'm going to give myself some time too. I'm going to make sure that I have time for myself. Not only
Right.
I can't say yes to everything. So I've learned not to say yes to everyone and be okay with that because I'm only one person.
Mhm. So, man, it's simple,
Right.
right? Make you. I tell people that I believe that before anything else, you should make you a priority, right? That's why one of my core values is self-preservation. I have to make sure I'm good before I can help anybody.
Right.
And sometimes, like I said, we weigh ourselves thin by trying to, okay, I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna support you, but don't forget, there's only 24 hours in a day.
That
They
part.
say we have to sleep 8 and work 8. So, but that's half, almost half your day gone.
Right. I just came across a video like that. It's
So
just
you gotta really make yourself a priority.
right.
And sometimes it's okay to say, I can't make it. I can donate this, or I can share
Right.
it, or I can contribute to your cause, but I
Right.
can't physically be there because I gotta rest. I see people all the time. They get out here and they wear themselves thin.
Sleep deprived.
And the sad part is when you in a hospital, the people who you did it for don't even have the audacity to send you a dollar balloon. Don't come up there to see you, won't call you. Tell my young guys in the street, it's all fun and dandy till somebody's in the interrogation room and somebody get told on and somebody going to be in here forever and
Mhm.
somebody ain't never going to see their family again.
That
And the
part.
person you done did that for ain't going to visit your mama, ain't
Mhm.
going to put no money in your mama pocket, ain't going to put no groceries in your mama house, ain't going to take care of your little brother. He
Well,
probably try to sleep with your little sister. It's a dirty world. Make
it is
yourself a priority, man.
that part. I appreciate that advice right there. We have a question from Javon. What's the biggest lessons you learned from the woman you had a relationship with?
That's all. Make yourself a
Oh,
priority.
is that the answer for that question? I don't know if it's lagging right now. He said, "What's the biggest lessons?" you've learned from the women you've had a
Huh?
relationship with?
What you say?
I said, what's the biggest lessons you learned from
What?
women?
It was to me?
He asked you. You see the question? I know.
So
It's
it
probably
says, what is the biggest? I think the connection bad. Say it again.
yeah, he said, what's the biggest lessons you learned from the women you had a relationship with? That's from Dr. Love Jones.
Dr. Love Jones, shout out to that brother. Best wishes to you on your journey and
Mm-hmm.
with everything you do. But the biggest lesson I learned from dating the women I learned is to be honest. Just that simple. It's to be honest. So often, I feel like a man can't call himself a man if he's not being honest.
Mm,
And a lot of times we don't be honest because we're trying to save face, or we think a lot of times that we're not going to get what we truly came for,
mm,
not knowing that honesty is the best policy. Now, some guys are arguing and say women really don't want to know the truth. That's a different topic, right? But I would say just be honest, because for a lot of us brothers, getting women isn't the problem. That's not the problem. Keeping them is. Getting them isn't the problem, because it's 7 levels of intimacy. The easiest level is attraction. You can get it with the attraction.
right.
Keeping her, and that's a good book too. Dr. Kelly, I forgot, Kelly Matthews wrote it. It's called The 7 Levels of Intimacy. Right, the first level is attraction. So that's easy. Keeping them is the problem, and we lose women when we start to lie, be deceitful. You know, we just when they start to peel back them layers on us, as you said earlier, they start to see that this is a bad apple
Mm,
because of his actions. And I truly believe when a man lie, he's just fearful. And I believe only boys lie. Men, we shouldn't be lying as men. If that's the lifestyle you want to live, tell her. You can say, I'm gonna do what I want. However they're gonna take it, cool. But say something. Don't just be like, it's me and you, baby, and you know you're fucking lying. Excuse my language. You know you're.
Jamal said, I agree, be honest. It's not for them. It's to persevere your character. The last thing you want to be called is a liar, for
No,
sure. And
seriously, just be
mm,
honest, man. Shout out to that brother, man. That brother, that's some good jewels right there. That's the biggest lesson I've learned. Is
that's
just be honest.
that's
Because when I'm honest,
yeah.
they love me more.
Mm. All right. So random
They love
statement
me
that
more
you
when you're
for
honest. They love
teaching.
you more.
I agree. I agree. I think that people love you more, and then at that point, you pick a choose if you want to move forward, right? And then that's up to that lady at that point. Random statement yet useful for teaching. You generally attract what you are. Work on your core values so they become deeply ingrained in you, so you know what they look like
Yeah,
in
just
others.
give a
All right. I think we're having some lagging issues a little bit. Eric says, don't pretend to be someone that you are not.
yeah. I mean, even that. I think that is a great perspective also.
Right. I agree. I agree. So, guys, we're past the time. This turned into a really good conversation. It's supposed to end at 8, but it's ended at 8:21. So, I just want to give a big thank you to Shiloh for coming on my show, on our show. And
So long.
if there's anything else that you want to leave the crowd with, I'm gonna give you the stage once again. You can let them know where they can find you, and if you want to leave them with any advice, this is your time.
Um, if any advice is, let's all let's all work together and let's build a community to where we can push our agendas forward on people younger than us, right? So We got the sharp brothers in the chat, the sharp sisters in the chat. Let's create an environment and a space to where everyone can benefit from that, right? Because if I got the knowledge, the brother got the knowledge, and the sister got the knowledge, and we all still learning. The youth, the younger versions of us, if they knew what we know at the age that we at, but we give them the knowledge at the age they at, by the time they were we at, oh man, the possibilities are endless for the next generation. I believe children represents hope. So I would say, yeah, let's build the environment to where we all can just pour into the children, pour into one another, of course. But it's the youth I'm concerned about, right? Because it's better to raise children than to restore broken men and women, So that's what I would say, man. And stay healthy. Shout out to a very important mentor of mine, Miss Rashina Burrows. She's a software developer. She owns 5 vegan restaurants. Really good friend, really good mentor of mine. Shout out to her. She's given me a lot of wisdom over the years, passed down from that gap of older to younger. And I want all of us to come together and just pour into it. Let's just pour into somebody. Every single day, pour into somebody, man. It'll keep your cup full when you pour into someone else. The blessings are endless. But that's it. And thank you guys for having me, man. I just want to say that it's such an honor to even share the platform with you. Thank you for bringing me on. Thank everybody who tuned in. A lot of people do it because it's brownie points or it sound good, but I'm really an advocate for gratitude, and I'm really thankful for even everybody who chimed in and sent knowledge and sent questions and sent perspectives. I really like things like that. So again, let's all connect, get together, and we can change the world. Remember, it's the fist, not the hand, but the fist. So y'all stay up, man. Stay blessed, stay healthy, and get those core values in line. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Everybody, I hope y'all enjoyed today's show as much as I did. I knew it was going to be a good show. I knew it was going to be so good to the point where I forgot my intro. So that's a wrap for another episode of Whatever You Say podcast. Hope you enjoyed the conversation, learned something new, and even had your perspective challenged in some kind of way. If you're hungry for more, make sure you tune in every other Wednesday for a brand new episode. And if you like what you heard or love what you heard today, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click on that notification button to get your reminders, honey. And it helps other like-minded folks, just as yourself, to find our page. As always, this is your girl, La. Stay blessed, stay encouraged, and stay curious. It's whatever you say. Bye.